So it's Frankfurter on the right of your picture in the green boat, and Keller and Rudolph in the green boat. Thank you, Adrian. On the right of your picture, and Frankfurter on the left of your picture.
And they're going straight together straight away on the rudder early, but no collision. It looks so sedentary, these pairs, compared to the A's, doesn't it?
I know, and particularly due as Ferrer Nielsen, who absolutely caned it off the start in his single. And both pairs being cautious, and the pair on the right-hand station from Keller and Berliner in the green boat, nice course right down the middle, and they're being warned by the umpire, get over to your station, but they want to avoid those booms, Adrian.
Yeah, they want to make sure they stay clear. They're far enough away from the booms, but they might get some warning soon. Half a length there to the crew on the near side in the green boat, and we'll see whether these young guys in the yellow Empacher on the far side, who were under-23 world champions last year, see if they can give them a race.
You know, I think this is going to go all the way down the track. I mean, that's a handy lead to have for Kluge and Ernsting. Pete Kluge, he is the bowman on the right of your picture with the sort of blonde hair. They're both wearing sunglasses. Clemens Ernsting in the stroke seat. Experienced pair. Pete Kluge been rowing since 2004,
and it's always interesting when you look at the pair in the green boat and the nearest us, the difference between the bowman and the stroke man in terms of their size. Traditionally, you would have expected this biggest man to be in the stroke seat.
I know, there was a famous Swiss pair actually that won the silver medal in the '72 Olympics, Bachmann and Fischer, and Freddie Bachmann was just, I think he was about sort of 68 kilos, and the stroke man, Fritz Fischer, I think, was something like 100 and something kilos. Won the silver medal, and Freddie Bachmann was in the bow seat on that occasion.
And the same with Bond and Murray, isn't it? Bowman is much heavier than the stroke man, and they're the fastest pair ever to have rowed.
So that's a handy lead. Bond and Murray, of course, the fastest pair in the world from New Zealand. We know you've been watching this presentation on your training camp in Switzerland, and we wish you well on Zursee, the lake you're training on. Bond and Murray, of course, won the Goblets here many times, most notably from the top British pair of Pete Reed and Andy Trinks-Hodge. But this match-up between, sorry, Joe, Adrian, interrupt you. This match-up between the German pairs has really tended to be a race where the selected, or the German pair that were closest to getting to Rio in the green boat, have opened up a lead over the younger competition from...
Yeah, Seller Ruderverein and Berliner Ruderclub are definitely taking control of this race here, and you can see that Frankfurter Rudergesellschaft Germania struggling with their steering and moving over to the middle of the course.
Little dip there from Pete Kluge in the Keller and Berliner Ruder Club pair on this side in the green boat. Two German pairs we're watching battle out for the right to progress to the Saturday in the Silver Goblets and Nickalls Challenge Cup. It was named after the Nickalls family. Their dad, or Guy Nickalls, and his brother were rowing in the Silver Goblets, and their dad said, look, they've won it so many times, I'd like to present goblets to the winners, and he endowed that trophy, and his sons won it the year he endowed it, and that was in the 1890s, and it's been going ever since.
Here we go, and you look at the crew on the right-hand side, the German crew. Every time they finish a stroke, the boat is turning towards the other boat, and they're having to steer, so they're having real issues going straight as a pair. And the margin here you can see from Keller Ruderverein and Berliner Ruderclub, it's quite substantial now. The Cox's pair, 2 or 3 lengths. You really are in control.
Yeah, we thought it might be closer, but the German pair from Keller and Berliner, if they do manage to keep this lead over their fellow countrymen from Frankfurter Rudergesellschaft, they are on the left of your screen now, then they will go on to face the Dutch pair heading for Rio, Rolbras and Mitchell Steenman, who won their race earlier today. That match-up against Grossman and Trebau. Dutch proved just too fast. They've come here straight from their training camp in Austria, 20-kilometre long lake, where they've been honing their skills for the Rio Olympics.
A very cohesive unit here, these two. They've obviously done some racing together. But even there, you can see the wind on the hair of the stroke man. There's still a big, strong headwind out there. They're still having to work very hard, even though they're dominating the race.
It's interesting that a pair clearly this competent and this good, you know, just couldn't find the pace to get into the Olympic regatta, Adrian. Worth mentioning that, you know, behind the Kiwi Murray and Bond, unbeaten since 2009 in this event, is the fantastic British pair of Alan Sinclair and Stuart Ennis, who you know, did so well in the recent World Cup in Poznan and got a real shout of Olympic medal in that event.
And then you look at the British pair of Tarrant and Riley O'Donnell, who are only 3 or 4 feet behind them, and now don't go to the Olympic Games and are of medal standard.
What I want to know, Adrian, is how come the British can get small boats going quite quickly, but the Germans can do this fantastic rowing for the men's 8, but they can't get their small boats, whether it's this pair we're looking at or the men's 4, to be competitive in the A final. Often we see them languishing, you know, top end of the B final at World Cup regattas.
It's interesting because they do train in the pairs and they do select their 8 based on the fastest 4 pairs. So it is, I don't know, I'm sure if they knew the answer, they'd be fixing it as well.
Well, Ralf Holtmeier, who is the lead coach for the German men's 8, everything is around the German men's 8. He runs a very tough, tight ship in Germany, and the technique is really to make the 8 go fastest. Sometimes that might not help the pairs run along quickly, but there we see Clemens Ernsting, closest to you, the 13 stone 12 stroke of the Keller Berliner Club, and his 15 stone 7 bowman Pete Kluge row away towards the emptying grandstands of the stewards' enclosure in this conclusion of the heat of the Silver Goblets and Nickalls Challenge Cup.
Yeah, the grandstand's certainly empty this evening. The German crews here, you can see the trailing crew here really struggling, heads down, really battling to try and salvage something out of this race.
I did see they're coached by Peter Thiede, the crew from Frankfurt on the right of your screen. That's the 2 men of Lucas Duhnkrack and Nico Merget, and of course, memory serves, Peter Thiede used to cox the German men's 8.
Yeah, he coxed the men's 8 for a very long time to many gold medals. I think he even coxed the 8 in 1989.
He might have raced against us, Adrian.
He might have done.
We were in the 8 in 93, if you're listening and can be bothered with that superficial fact. But here is the important action on the water in front of us, and it is getting tough, isn't it? You can see Pete Kluge looked around, where am I on the course? And, well, they've had to keep the pressure on against their fellow countrymen, Duhnkrack and Merget from Frankfurter.
Yeah, even the bowman there, he's still having to keep some pressure on just to finish this race. And still the polite applause from the people that are left to watch.
Well, I realised little wind down there from Nick Merget, the stroke man. Sorry, that's Clemens Ernsting, the stroke man. Realised that they've done enough to win. Thumbs up from Peter Kluge to Lucas Duhnkrack and Nico Merget from Frankfurter.